Hi, this is Trev and welcome to my blog. A little while ago now I did part 1 on the Alfa build. This is Steve's car. This is my boss from Race and Restoration. So I've searched for all my old video files, probably about 18 months worth of stuff. I've sorted them all through and I've strung a video for you guys to watch. It's not really a technical how-to, it's more really a basic overview on what we've done on the car. Enough people have asked and they're interested in what's happened to part 2, so I thought I'd better get on and do a part 2 before the car's finished, because it's really looking the business now. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. So here's some inner wing parts. This is under the battery tray. These are the rotten old bits I cut out, and there's the hole that's left behind, so it incorporates the top of the chassis leg as well as the inner wing. I fabricated a one-piece section to go back in there and then replace the leg over the top afterwards. New battery tray over the top. Of course the acid leaking out over the years just eats it away. The other side, on the right hand side front, now that's had a prang at some stage that was all badly twisted out of shape, also quite a bit of rot in that lower section, so I'm fabricating by hand a nice little repair panel to go. So I just shot this video and speeded it up, so you just see that I'm using very basic tools to fashion this out of a piece of metal. That's all been made out of one piece of metal. What I need to do though is I need to weld a lip extension onto the front. It was just too much of a complicated shape to add that as well. So in the next section you'll see me just welding a little extension on. I think it's that piece I'm flattening out there that the extension goes onto. That or the other end, I can't remember now. This is about a year ago I did this. Minor adjustment. Yes. It was that front lip section, and that's where I'm welding the extension to. trial fitting it to make sure I've got it somewhere near, over and over again until I do get it somewhere near before I let it into the panel. Some changes made to the front panel. Got a new spare wheel well welded in. The old one was really rotted out, and yeah, we just decided to remove it, put a brand new one in. It was good actually because I got access to the lower inner quarter that was rusted out as well. Now the previous owner had put a lot of repair sections into this car, so a lot of it we've had to sort of leave as it was because the work had already been done. The bits that weren't were the floor pans, full length floor pans. They were just too far gone to bother patching them up really. That corner there, where I'm just pointing at, I had to take that corner, I had to cut that right out to get the panel in. There was no other way of getting it in otherwise. And there's a little bracing panel just to sort of brace it to the gearbox tunnel where that seatbelt anchorage point is. New seat subframe mounts welded in as well, and the roll cage has been welded in there. Unfortunately had to cut a hole through the outer and inner wing to gain access to the roll cage where you can't get to weld it up, so that could be finely welded. Couple of little adjustment holes there. This is a section the previous owner had put in. What we've done, you see, is he'd overlapped a lot of the panels. So although he'd put a lot of new panels in, he just overlapped them over the top of the old ones. And what we've done is we've gone around and tried to remove as much of the old panel from the inside, so that it gets away from this heavily overlapped kind of situation. So we've spent quite a bit of time doing that rather than sort of having to fit complete new sections again, because the guy had put lower wing sections in, lower front valance, and to be fair he hadn't made a bad job of it really, but we just needed to tidy it up and remove the inner. The sills weren't too bad, so we left the sills. I think we just put a couple of little plates in. The boot lid was just too far gone to save. Could have saved it, but it spent too much time on it, so bought a new boot lid. The fit wasn't great on that, but we've managed to manipulate it back into shape. I think I had to redress the corner where my finger is, roughly there on that corner. I think I just had to cut and reshape the edge slightly so it lined up nicely with the quarter panel. This is the shell on the spits, and straight after shot blasting, so it's been shot blasted back to bare metal before it has a couple of coats of epoxy primer sprayed on it. Overhauling the door hinges. I think Steve bought a new pin set. I think one of these was cracked as well, because these are alloy and I welded them up. Yeah, I think steel pins and alloy, not a great idea. And yeah, he bought a new kit to recondition those. This is the shell in epoxy primer now. What he's done, you see, is he's got it in epoxy primer and then he's doing the final fit. So he's making sure all the lights and all the fittings, grille fittings, headlight bezels, all that kind of thing. Put the doors back on, I think. Yeah, he's certainly got the boot on there. Yeah, I can see he's got the doors on. So he's going around gapping everything up. He's fitted some new door handles as well. And you can just see with marker pen where it's highlighted where we've got a few issues with bad gaps and stuff. So once it's in epoxy, then it seals the surface of the steel up, so gives it some protection, and then you can just sort of spend some time there making sure all the gaps are right, making sure everything fits properly before putting the primer on. And there we go, our final scene. The car now in high veil primer, ready to be flatted down and painted. Paint scheme, I still don't think he's entirely sure exactly what to do. He was thinking about doing it two-tone, painting the front nose a different colour. You can probably just see some fine line masking tape there. So this is the end of part 2. In part 3 we will feature obviously all painted up and the fitting up stages. We've still got an engine to recondition and the suspension parts to overhaul, but the bulk of the work's been done now, getting it into primer.